Hello everybody, back from Pennsylvania. We're in Ohio, and I went to Pennsylvania for a few reasons, and I think I accomplished them all. One was to check out the truck stops out there. I wanted to see what type of truck stops they had, and if you could sleep overnight there. And I did, and it was fine, just like the other ones in Ohio and Kentucky. And the other reason was there was some free camping out that way, and it was more, it wasn't in a state park. It was dispersed camping on the side of a road that was allowed in one town on the side of a river. And I wanted to try that out, and I did. And it was a good experience. You know, we only got to stay for one night because I had to get back this way. And the other reason was I wanted to find the location where I saw a UFO. It was what I estimate to be about 10.5 years ago. I was coming from Connecticut, coming home to my new home in Ohio here. At that point I was going back and forth. I was going through a divorce, and I was carrying my stuff in a station wagon I had back and forth. And I wanted to go there again just to kind of locate the area where I saw this UFO and try to, because for a while I couldn't really pinpoint where I saw it, but I found it. I originally thought it was in Pennsylvania, but it was actually just over the border in Ohio. I was coming home. I was just over the border in Ohio, and there's a truck stop on the right, and there's road construction, and the lanes were all kind of skinny, no breakdown lanes. And so I remember there was a bridge up ahead, and that's what I remembered, and that's what I found. And it was actually maybe about 10 to 15 miles outside of Youngstown, Ohio. And what I saw was, I was driving along, and I saw what I thought was a cell phone tower. And you know how the top of a cell phone tower is kind of triangular? Well, I thought I saw a cell phone tower up there. Then as I'm looking at it, I go, that's a little higher than a normal one. And there's no base. There's nothing holding it there. There's no... It's just floating there. The top. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not a cell phone tower. And I look at this thing, and I shit you not, it was a freaking pyramid just floating there in the sky. There was a freaking floating pyramid in the sky that I saw right there in front of me. And it wasn't very high up, because it was maybe just a little bit higher than the cell phone towers usually are. And it was maybe as big as a bus or a truck. You know, it was there. It wasn't like a lot of people see UFOs and they see like a flash or a light in the sky. It's like, no, this was a solid object in the sky. The sun had just set, and the sky was getting dark, and this thing was so black that it was just pitch black. And you could see the sky behind it was lighter. That's how I knew it was there. If it was any darker, I probably wouldn't have seen it. Besides the fact that it had a few lights on it. And the lights that were on it were not like any other lights I could find in any... I couldn't find anything on YouTube about pyramid or a pyramid UFO. There's triangle UFOs, but they didn't really look like this. And I really couldn't find anything that looked like this. This was a big black silhouette in the sky, and there was lights on. Like there was... It looked like window lights were on. Like when you're looking in a... when you're driving through a city and you look up at a tall building and you see a few lights on in different rooms, that's what it looked like. And there was maybe like 7 or 8 different room lights on, it looked like. But maybe they weren't. Maybe they're just random lights that were on. I don't know. But it looked like window lights to me. So I see this pyramid, and it's on an angle, sort of. Oh, I don't know how... Okay. It was like I was looking at it like this. I could see the top of it, I could see the bottom of it. And the bottom of it was blacked out, and the top of it is where I saw the lights scattered around. And driving along, and all of a sudden, this thing is me, And then as I'm going over, it's over here now because it's not that very high up. And I'm looking out my window up at it, and right as I'm going by it and I look up at it, this thing starts to turn. This thing starts to turn. It's like floating there, and then it just turns like this. And it wasn't like it was here and it turned over to here. It was like it was here and it just turned in a spot right there onto its side. And this is right out my window here. And I look up at it, I see it turning, and it's not that very far away. And I just look straight ahead, and I got this weirdest feeling like I just need to get the freak out of there. So I start driving, I'm just for like maybe 3 or 4 seconds, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna look, I'm not gonna look, I'm not gonna look. Because it just freaked me out, you know? I had just gotten a new smartphone. I didn't know how to work the camera. I knew how to work the camera, but I couldn't on the highway pull the phone out. This was like 10.5 years ago when we were all just getting smartphones. But I couldn't pull it out and figure the camera out while I'm driving down the highway. And to this day, I wish I did because it was right freaking there. And as I'm going by, it turns on its side. And I drive ahead. And then I look out my window after about like 4 or 5 seconds, and it's gone. It's just freaking gone. It just turned on its side. I looked away, and I looked back, and it was gone. And then, all of a sudden, right in front of me, maybe about almost like a mile up, there's this huge jet going by. Like the hugest jet I've ever seen in my life. Just, it had a couple lights blinking on it. And for some reason, it was like a jumbo jet. It was like a Boeing jumbo, whatever the biggest jet you could think of in the world is, that's what it was. And for some reason I thought that this UFO had morphed into the hugest plane I ever saw ever. It was like a transformer or something. I don't know. For years that's what I thought. I was looking up shape-shifting airplanes, and there's videos all over YouTube about that. But just a couple months ago, I gathered some new information. Somebody in a video said that they've seen UFOs and they see them showing up around different kinds of carrier, like ships in the water, like warships. They see them showing up around power plants, and they see them showing up around these huge jumbo jets. And I was like, oh. So this thing just so happened to be passing me, and this UFO was there. It just wanted, now I'm thinking it was just there to observe this jumbo jet that went by. And for the longest time, I couldn't find anything on YouTube about this. Just a couple weeks ago on the news, the Pentagon came out and said that they spotted a pyramid UFO, and they said it was authentic. So I was like, thank God. The Pentagon came out and said there's an authentic pyramid UFO that they caught on film. And the one they caught was with night vision. And it's nothing like what I saw it right freaking there, man. And they just have this little tiny, night vision dot on the screen. I took a picture of it. I'll put it right here. So yeah, that's what I saw, but I saw it 10.5 years ago on the Ohio northeastern border, which now I'm finding out is a hotspot for UFOs, the more I'm looking into it. And it's great to see that there's actual evidence, and the Pentagon's coming out and saying that, because I thought I was crazy for the longest time. I thought maybe I was going through a divorce back then. I thought maybe I was just hallucinating or crazy. I was trying to tell myself something, so I, but it was just, yeah, it was real, and I saw it, and it was right there. And, oh, something else I just recently figured out. The first thing I figured out was that they're showing up around jumbo jets. So it wasn't the UFO that turned into a jumbo jet. It was just they're probably observing it. Here's the thing, though. It was coming. The jumbo jet was going this way, and the UFO was over here. But right as the plane passed it, it just turned and disappeared. Why didn't it, it's like if you're going to go to a parade, why not wait for the whole thing to go by? Maybe you just want to get some pictures of the front of it, you know, for its calendar. Oh, I don't know. But the other thing I figured out recently was that there's a couple videos out there saying that UFOs will actually turn because they have this, like, they're trying to match themselves with this gravitational pull that we don't really know about, and they're trying to fall into it, like we're using gravity to fly into like another dimension, or I don't know if that's real or not, but all I know is this thing turned, and then I looked and it was completely gone. I mean, and I say completely gone, I was on the highway and I only go like this. You know, I'd keep looking back at the road, but it wasn't there. It could have just jumped over to the side of the road or something. But I think it disappeared. I think I was looking at it right as it, you know, and I looked away right when it disappeared. Yeah, so that's what I saw. Now you know. This is the area I'm pinpointing where I saw the UFO. Right near all these truck stops, and 10.5 years ago this was construction, and there's cones on the side of the road over here. Driving along, and there should be a bridge coming up ahead. Yep. Driving along, and I saw it, and somewhere, maybe it's up ahead a little bit more, I turned. Yeah, I think this is it. Exit 234. I turned, and I looked out the side window, and I saw, this is where I saw it turn. And I looked back, and I remember seeing a bridge up ahead. And beyond that bridge, about a mile up in the sky, I saw the huge jumbo jet that I was talking about. And I believe we're about 15 miles outside of Youngstown, Ohio.